Good evening, everybody. Mama G, can you please sit down? You're right in front of the camera. What'd you say about hecklers? This is going to be the talk the whole entire time. All right.
That's what I was waiting for.
Oh, my gosh. All right. There's no pressure at all. So, are you like most people, stressed?
Yes.
Overwhelmed?
Yes.
How many of us in this room have tried to lose weight?
Yes.
And who's lost 200 or 300 pounds over their lifetime and put it back on? Right? So today's presentation is going to be on how to manage stress in a very difficult world. So burnout to breakthrough, that's the topic today. And let's define what stress is, right? Who wants to do that with me? Who wants to do that? Who wants to do it? Put your hands up. All right. So everybody has a different definition of stress, right? I know some of us get up at 4:30 in the morning, Eddie, and you work till 9 o'clock at night, and you've been doing that for 20 years. That's passion, though. He enjoys it. And some of us feel like it's very difficult to get up that early, right? But some of us, we define stress differently, correct? Like, I love talking in public. Who in this room would be sweating through their eyeballs if they had to talk in public, right? I love talking in public. This is fun for me, right? I shoot videos.
I love talking too.
Exactly. Yeah, I know.
I get paid to talk.
Exactly. And so stress, there was a physician back in the 1950s, his name was Dr. Hans Selye. And what he stated was the number one cause of disease was stress. And what he found was, under stress with rats, that their life expectancy got shorter as they were given more and more stress over time. And the stressors he gave the mouse were food stressors and environmental stressors, but yet the mice kept on dying earlier. And so when we look at stress, there's 3 areas of stress. So everybody, if you have a sheet of paper and you have a pen, I want you to write these notes down, please. So I heard that. And we're going to draw a little stick figure here. And if you can imagine, this is our head. And this is our body. If you notice, the head is really big and the body is really small. And with this, I know my handwriting is horrible. So draw a big circle, head is on top, body's on the bottom. And these 4 little spikes at their sides are the arms and legs. All right? So we have 3 different types of stressors. But let's define the brain a little bit. So inside the brain, we have a conscious brain. I'm going to make that a big C. I know. And there's a subconscious brain. So conscious versus subconscious. Who knows what the difference is? You're not aware of your subconscious, yes? What else? What's the conscious? What's consciousness? Being aware. And so subconscious would be relatively unaware until we become aware. So it is said that our subconscious programs, so our habits in our daily living, are actually programmed before the ages of 7 years old. So all the thoughts we think and all the feelings we feel are based on the first 7 years of our life. Who here is older than 7 years old? Everybody. And it's these subconscious programs that run on a daily basis. And they become completely automatic until we realize that we could change these subconscious beliefs and programs. Does that make sense? So if our consciousness is our thoughts, right? We're going to put thoughts here, thoughts. Our subconscious becomes our feelings. And this is important to understand the definitions of everything. So who can think of one person in your life, Vicky, do not say anything, that you can think about in your life that it happened 20 or 30 years ago and you get this visceral response? Like somebody, your life, and somebody, and Vicky probably knows the person I'm thinking of. I can't say the name out loud because this is public and recorded. But this one person, you can think about that one person and they did something to you when you were a kid. And you can still think about it and your heart rate goes up. Who can think about like a douchebag right now that you think about that person and or a situation, your heart rate goes up, right? Come on, I know everybody can think about somebody that pisses them off. Or even somebody that cut you off last week, right? Something that happened, right? Somebody, Mommy G, we were talking about somebody at the house. I'm not gonna talk about it the other day. You got a little passionate talking about this person, right? Okay, all right. Oh, hey guys, thanks for coming. And so we can think about that person or that situation, and we get a visceral response. We're the only creature on the planet that this happens to. You know why? Because a deer in the wild, the moment they get stressed, they don't have a new brain. It's called the neocortex, that big frontal lobe. Us humans have it. Monkeys have it a little bit, but we're the only creature on the planet that has the capacity we have with consciousness. So in the wild, a deer gets chased by a mountain lion. If that deer survives, the deer is going to go back and start grazing, being with the family. They've totally forgot about that mountain lion that attacked them. It's already gone. They go back to their innate life. They go back to grazing, they go back to eating, they go back to spending time with the family. Us humans, something happens to us, and the first thing we want to do is curse them out, and then we think about them all day. Then we go to sleep at night, we're still thinking about them, and then there's a trigger the next day. This is resonating, isn't it? And these programs are run subconsciously, meaning this: our thoughts create feelings. Something that happened to us in the past, or even something that's happening to us in the future. Right? We can think about something that hasn't even happened yet, and we create this whirlwind of emotion. We get worried, we get concerned. Like, you're a high school student, right? You're probably like, okay, school's starting soon. I gotta pick out outfits, and then I have to go get my nails done, I gotta get my hair did, and then, I gotta make sure I show up in the perfect outfit, which you probably have 4 or 5 already, and then the decisions before you even start school, you gotta have the right shoes, right? And it ain't even happened yet. School's in 4 weeks, right? This is who we are as humans. But if we understand how the human operating system works, we can reprogram it. That's what's so cool. If we know that this is how it works, we can reprogram it. The thing is this: we are not conscious of this. That it's our subconscious programs that are basically creating the habits on a daily basis. Okay? So now, listen to this. So if we have a thought that creates a feeling, either a happy feeling or like a not so happy feeling, right? The body has to respond. So who here has kids? Really? The twins? Henry and Andrew, you put your hands up. You have kids? Aren't you like 7 years old? You guys are getting ready. Do you have a dog? You have a dog. All right. So as parents, and I have a beautiful 5-year-old, and she just loves to snuggle, and I'm a big snuggler, right? You ever snuggle with your child, and you're like, and it just calms you down? Do you remember when Sienna was born and just holding her, right? And you start producing hormones, and those hormones, that's a hormone called oxytocin. It's the love molecule, right? And you notice how just by me talking about that, how many of us in this room went back to feeling that way? We're the only freaking creature. This is how magnificent we are. We're designed to be able to create our lives and not fall victim to our lives. That's how we're designed. We could either create a future as if things are amazing, or we get dwelled into the past and worry about future things. Because what we think about creates feelings, and then the body has to respond to that feeling. So, under stress, what happens to the heart rate? Does it go up or go down?
Goes up.
What happens to your blood pressure? Goes up or goes down? What happens to your blood sugar? Does it go up or does it go down? What happens to your immune system? Does it go up or down? It has to become suppressed. And what happens to fertility? Do you think it's time to get it on or not? Oh, I got 7-year-olds here. Or not. It goes down. It goes down, right? So what did I just state? The top 3 causes of death in the world: cardiovascular disease, heart disease, cancer, and the third is physician caused, but we won't go there. But then infertility. What do you see around us all the time? Number one, number two causes of death, cardiovascular disease and cancer. And then how many fertility clinics are there? Do you remember the 80s? I don't remember somebody coming home. I did my IVF this week, high-fiving people. Like, it just wasn't around. And I think once we understand the biochemistry, what's happening, which that's my goal today. I want you guys to become scientists. And I want you to understand how the body works. I'm going to teach you techniques too. So it's not going to be all lecture, but I think it's important that you understand the foundations of the framework. Because there's only two states of being. Write this one down. There's only two states of being at any given time. Only two states of being at any given time. You're either in a powerful state or you're in a primitive state. Powerful state or primitive state? Seriously, Linda?
Come on. My granddaughter.
You're either in a powerful state or you're in a primitive state. So the powerful states, remember that state we talked about where you're feeling the feelings of love with your child or your grandchild? All right, that's a powerful state. Or if you worship, you go to church or synagogue or you go to a mosque and you're connecting one with your source, right? That's a powerful state. The primitive states were the states of, you know, that feeling that you feel like you sense somebody around you that's not like a good person and you're like, this doesn't feel right, right? We all have those spidey senses. Or you're worried about something in the future or the past, right? Those are all primitive states of being. And do you know what's interesting? Who's ever had deja vu? Probably everybody in this room, right? So this is not part of the topic, but it is. So our heart, if you think about this, we are electromagnetic beings. So our heart has, we do these EEGs. It's an imaging hat that you wear. It's electrodes that go in your head. And it actually measures the amplitude of brain waves. And it's electrical currents. So the brain is very, very electric. And the heart is more magnetic. And what they're finding now is the heart has its own electromagnetic field. Guess how big this field is? It's about 27 feet big. Eddie, how big is 27 feet for me, you think? Yeah, is it to that wall? Probably. Yeah. So think about everybody, 27 feet around. So basically, my energetic field of my heart, all our hearts will fill this whole entire room. So if we have somebody come into that energetic field, we could sense their intentions. And we think it's deja vu, but it's our heart that already read it. They've done studies at the Heart Math Institute, and they've been able to find out that the heart senses intentions before they ever manifest. So if we ever notice that, like, listen, like, you start feeling a certain way about a person, just listen to your body. Get out of that situation and don't react. Just start listening to your body. And what's beautiful is this. Who's ever felt so much despair, but you started praying and it just went away? Right? Right? And if you think about Judeo-Christianity, you have what? The Father, right? And the Son. In order to get to the Father, you must go through the Son. So the heart is at the center of not only Judaism, but Catholicism, Muslim, Vedic traditions. The heart is the middle chakra between the lower chakras in the Vedic traditions, with 7 chakras, and the upper chakras. So the heart has always been at the center of almost every religion and culture since the beginning of time. And now science is starting to prove that the heart is the center of almost anything. We have these little neurites. They're actually little neurons that are in the heart. They're actually in every single cell of the body. They're called neuropeptides. And so what we feel, every cell in the body responds to. So if we are aware of this, we've got to be very careful of the things we listen to, the things we pay attention to, and the people around us. So we just got to be mindful, guys. That's the whole entire thing. Is if we become more mindful to know that, listen, my thoughts are not my thoughts. My thoughts are pre-programmed thoughts from the ages of 0 to 7 years old. They're not my thoughts. So I could choose to have different thoughts. They're just programs running over and over and over again. Yes, they're very, very, very deeply rooted thoughts, right? So today I want to teach you how to reprogram some of those thoughts. And we're gonna pick some stressors that we're gonna work through. And then I want to teach you foods that are very stressful and then foods that are not stressful. And then hopefully you guys could take this home, and this can be all recorded. And you'll be able to basically map out how to, if you want to lose weight. Who here wants to lose weight? Everyone. MB, can I borrow you for 1 second? Just, you don't have to stand up or anything. We put you on a protocol, and how much weight did you lose in 1 week on the protocol? 8.5 pounds 1 week. And was it hard? No. And when you learn how to do it properly, and the one thing I get in my clinic is this, oh, but that only works for men. I hear that shit all the time. So I'm like, when I say, listen, I have another woman that lost, it's not very complicated. So we're going to go over that later. Because there's foods that are very stressful to the metabolism. That's called stress metabolism. And foods that are anti-stress metabolism. Who wants to learn that later? Okay. All right, who's coming with me? All right, so we have thoughts, feelings, and then the body. Now, there are 3 types of stressors. Number 1 is emotional stressors. What's number 1? Emotional stressors. So emotional stressors are what we just talked about. Think about things that piss us off, or somebody that aggravated us, or somebody that irritated us, right? So that's an emotional stressor. And that's very conscious. We hear that. Like, oh, okay, I can resonate with that. Like, somebody cut me off the other day, I could resonate with that, right? And so that's emotional. The next 2 are subconscious stressors that we don't even know they exist. And the only reason why you're going to know they exist is because I'm going to teach it to you today. So number 1 is physical stressors. Okay? Now, who in this room ever has had pain? Who has pain today? All right. So pain is a very physical stressor. So when it comes to physical stressors, we always want to look at 4 areas. We want to look at 4 areas. Ready? They are the nervous system, so any kind of neurological stressors. We want to look at the musculoskeletal system, which is muscles and joints. We want to look at the vascular system, most importantly, the venous system, which is the return of blood flow back up towards the heart. And most people in America, they have what's known as chronic venous insufficiency, and they don't even know they have it. It's a pathology that nobody really knows about. Who has varicose veins in this room? That's a sign of venous insufficiency or spider veins. And that's a very treatable syndrome that can be treated. And it's not going to affect your health short term, but long term, it creates ulcers. So those are things that you want to be mindful of that nobody really thinks about. And the 4th stressor is hormonal stressors. All right, so I'll repeat them. We have neurological stressors, musculoskeletal stressors like pain, right? Then we have vascular stressors, and then we have hormonal stressors. What were the 4? Nervous system and hormonal. You guys are good. You guys are good. Nobody's fallen asleep yet, which is great. Hopefully you guys aren't falling asleep on Facebook Live. Hi, Mom. Happy birthday, Dad, by the way. All right, so we got that. Now, the last stressor, which is we're going to spend most of the rest of the day on, is what's known as chemical stressors. And if I have time later, I'm going to do a demonstration on physical stressor. So if anybody has pain, I want to do some demonstrations to help you get out of pain today. All right, so chemical stressors. Let me erase the board. So what are chemical stressors? Who can guess? Yes, or stuff we don't. So any kind of nutrient deficiency or toxicity is a chemical stressor. And so when we look at this, if you draw a line down the center of your page, and we're going to look at what's known as stress, metabolism, and then anti-stress metabolism, also known as thyroid metabolism. All right, so remember what I said earlier? There's only two states of being. You're either in a powerful state or a primitive state. Powerful or what? Primitive. Powerful and or what? Primitive. Thank you. So stress metabolism is known as the primitive state. And then anti-stress metabolism would be the powerful state. Powerful, Vicky, powerful. Powerful state. There's going to be a quiz on this, Vic. Powerful state. So let's take a deeper dive. You can't read my handwriting, I know, so I'll read it again. Stress metabolism is primitive. Anti-stress metabolism is powerful. So I'm going to go a little bit deeper into this. Okay? So stress metabolism is known as anaerobic metabolism. Anaerobic means without oxygen. And then anti-stress metabolism is aerobic metabolism. And this is going to make sense when I talk about diet later. And this is how MB was able to lose that much weight in a week. And you also lost 12 in 10 days, was it? Yeah. And so it's possible. And the only reason why she's doing it is because we're able to optimize the anti-stress metabolism. Okay, so who's ready? You guys tracking with me? So now we're going to dive a little bit deeper. Stress metabolism is actually the sympathetic nervous system, which is the fight or flight response. Remember we were talking about, like, you thought about somebody that bothered you and you got that visceral response? That's called the sympathetic nervous system. The heart rate goes up, the blood pressure goes up, etc. So in a sympathetic neurological state, heart rate goes up, blood pressure goes up, let's go BP, and then blood sugar goes up. Heart rate, blood pressure, blood sugar. Cardiovascular disease, diabetes. Now, if I look at the anti-stress state, this is known as the parasympathetic nervous system. And this is where the magic happens. The more we're in a parasympathetic state, which is our rest and digest state, what is it? A rest and digest state? Rest and digest. Rest and digest. And Angie-Ann, this is going to be really important for you. Because with your symptoms, you're in a chronic sympathetic state. We want to get you there. And everybody's going to learn how to do this today. There's going to be one technique and then dietary strategies that you guys could do that is simple. So the parasympathetic nervous system lowers the heart rate, decreases blood pressure, and balances blood sugar. Blood sugar balance. Isn't that pretty cool? So if we understand this, which state do you want to be in more? Do you want to be on heart disease, stroke ready to happen? Or do you want to be in, you know what? I don't care if I get heart disease or a stroke, right? Because when we tap into this, the mortality risk goes down exponentially. Now, if you look, I put something up top. It's called thyroid metabolism for a reason. And it's because the thyroid sets the pace for all cell metabolism. So who remembers from, I'm going to call it the high school student. Do you remember mitochondria?
Yes.
You're not the high school student. You graduated high school 100 years ago. You guys, I know Linda. I'm not just calling out a random person on the... do you remember mitochondria? Do you remember what it is, ish? Yeah, the power of the cell. Yes. Gee, just go Mawa High School. Woo! Love you, Mr. Pascal, if you're watching. All right, so the mitochondria is critical in cell function. Okay? All right, so I'm going to draw the next diagram I'm going to draw. Pardon me, my handwriting is bad, but my drawing is even worse. Okay, so here we go. So does everybody get this? You understand this? All right. So in order for us to produce energy, so here's your cell. It's a smiley face. You probably can't see it. Nobody, okay, forget it. You guys, you can't see it because it's green, right? I'll take full responsibility for this. So that's your cell. All right, and then this is your cell membrane. Kev, can you see it in the lens? Is it coming through? Sorry, everybody. All right, so we might have to create some images to put back in. So here's your cell. It can. Yeah, you got it? Okay. So if here's the cell, and this is the cell membrane. Inside the cell, we have something known as the mitochondria. Now, the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. And so what should happen is this. When we take food in, ready? This is going to get really exciting, I swear. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna make this more interactive. Anthony and Eddie, can I borrow you? All right. And Henry and Andrew, can I borrow you? All right, come here, little handsome devils. These are my favorite twins in the world. It doesn't work. All right, give me 5. All right, so Eddie is gonna be a big bouncer. Okay, all right? So you're gonna be the mitochondria. You're gonna be over here. And Eddie, you're gonna come right in the center, right here, right here, right here. And you're gonna come right here, right? Just like this. And you're the bouncer, so you're gonna actually hug your son. Nice. And you're gonna keep your arms around him. And you guys, you're gonna come here. You're gonna come here. And you're gonna protect these guys touching your son. Okay? But you're not gonna hurt them. You're just gonna move your body around. Okay? All right. So, oh, maybe black work better. Okay, so here we go. So Anthony is the mitochondria. It's the powerhouse of the cell. Here's a cell membrane that's protecting that cell. You guys with me? Who's with me? You got it? And so he's gonna wrap his arms around him. And so what should happen is, I'm insulin. Insulin is a hormone that's produced by the pancreas. And you guys are gonna be sugar, okay? Because you're so sweet. And check this out, ready? Because you're too sweet, because there's 2 of them. Oh, you get it? Okay, whatever. All right, so now we're gonna bring, the insulin brings the sugar inside the cell. That's what it does, that's his job. Okay, and you're gonna hug him. You're gonna hug him, protect him. And then we're gonna try to go inside the cell. We're gonna try to get to the mitochondria, and we can't. We can't get in. We can't get in. We can't get in, right? We can't get in. We can't get in. This is just fun for me now. All right, I think you guys get the point, right? So what should happen is the 2 sweets should be, oh, you got in. And so what's interesting, I'll explain this to you. The moment that Eddie moved away, what happened? What was able to get inside the cell? Okay, so this is why MB was able to lose 10 pounds in 10 days. It's because we taught the body to use food as a different fuel source. And this is what we're gonna go over next. Thank you guys. You guys are so handsome and so beautiful. All right, good job. And so the body can only metabolize fat or carbohydrates at the same time. It's called the Randall cycle, the Randall effect. So if we eat food, now, Mommy G, I'm sorry, because all my Italians, so where I grew up in Mawa, you're either an Italian or a wannabe. And I have my Italian family here, and I'm probably gonna be disowned from this family. But whenever you have high fat with high carbs, you store fat. What is pizza? Lasagna, manicotti, right? Whenever you have high fat with high carb, you store as fat. Because what happens is this, inside the cell itself, there's a protective layer around the cell. Let's see. Is that better, black? So these receptor sites, and there's thousands of receptor sites on the cell. And insulin is supposed to bring sugar inside to go right to the mitochondria. But if we have fat with a carbohydrate, we can't get insulin to bring the glucose inside the cell. So guess what happens? The body stores the extra sugar as fat. I'll repeat that. So if we have a fat with a carbohydrate, this is called the Randall effect. Randle. R-A-N-D-L-E. We cannot get that carbohydrate inside the cell. So then the carbohydrate, glucose, gets stored as fat. And then we go into what's known as stress metabolism. So the foods that we typically eat, the standard American diet, puts us into what's known as a stress metabolic state at all times. So here we think all our stressors are emotional, but 2/3 of all the stressors are subconscious. Does that make sense now? So yeah, I'm going to teach you a technique to help out with the conscious stressors. But if we don't take care of the subconscious stressors, especially the foods we eat, we're never going to fully get rid of our stressors. We're not going to be able to have the capacity to heal. We're not going to have the capacity to tap into what's known as the parasympathetic or the powerful state. Does that make sense? So like bagels, high carb, high fat. Most of the desserts, like if you look at desserts, look at the first ingredient and then the second ingredient. If you see any kind of seed oil or nut oil, throw it out. Or only save it for the weekends. Yeah, if you look at ingredients and any kind of nut oil, like grapeseed, sunflower lecithin, canola oil, it's very bad. It's not just not good, it's a poison to the body. Because it affects, and also fish oils are polyunsaturated fatty acids. You just don't want to combine fat with the carbohydrate. So one of the easiest ways for us to avoid fat is not to have fat for breakfast and lunch. So I call it fruits to 4. 3 days a week, only have fruits to 4. So for breakfast, lunch, snacks, eat only fruits to 4. You like fruits? And so this is going to allow our metabolism, the thyroid metabolism, to rev up. Now,
What did you say, fruits to what?
to 4 o'clock.
Oh,
4 o'clock, fruits to 4 p.m. And many of you are going to start asking, Linda, well, won't that spike my blood sugar? Right? And it doesn't. Because fructose does not affect insulin. Fructose is only metabolized by the liver. It doesn't raise insulin. So in fact, I have a patient coming in, type 1 diabetic. I put him on the fruits to 4. His initial pushback was, well, I'm gonna need more insulin. It's like my blood sugar is gonna skyrocket. And guess what happened? Opposite effect. He had to decrease his insulin. Because what happens is this, when we improve the ability for insulin to access the cell, or get inside the cell, to bring sugar inside the cell, these receptor sites, we become what's known as insulin sensitive. Meaning, now the cell could use the primary fuel source it's supposed to use, which is fruits. The body and the cells and the mitochondria need glycogen. So I was a big keto guy for almost 15 years. I would do 5-day fasts. Last year, reunion, I did a 5-day fast before I got there. And my hands were always cold. My body temperature dropped down to 94.5. My pulse rate dropped down to 50. I was like a bear hibernating, right? And I thought that would be the fastest way for me to lose weight and get lean. But it actually backfired on me. And it backfires on everybody because I was following the stress metabolic way, which is not good. We all do it. So my challenge to you, let's go to the thyroid metabolism way, which is fruits to 4. In fact, where's my juice? Oh, did I leave it in the car? Oh. So I brought an orange juice fits in this. So you have orange juice, apple. Oh my gosh. I go to bed every night. Can't wait till I wake up in the morning, have my glass of orange juice, some maple syrup in there, and then I add some salt, sea salt, Celtic sea salt.
even if you're diabetic, you can do that?
Even better when you're diabetic. It's going to stabilize your blood sugar because fructose does not increase your glucose. It doesn't raise insulin. It stabilizes insulin sensitivity.
I was told that you can have those carbs, those apples and
Yep.
other fruits, so good, but you should always have a protein with it.
Yep.
Because it metabolizes
Yep. The science doesn't really dictate that. So the question is, I heard about combining protein with a carbohydrate. The Randall effect, it was based on high fat, low carb, or high carb, low fat. So if you're gonna have fat only. Like for example, who doesn't love cheese? Right, I love my cheese. So I pick a meal where I'm just having fat. Just having fat in that meal. Because if you understand this is how metabolism works, then I don't have a competing carb with a competing fat. Because the body cannot metabolize effectively both. It'll store fat. Now, as far as protein goes, I'm on the fence of protein though, and Joanne, because protein does not really have a big effect on the Randall effect. It does not influence. However, what I would say is lean protein might not. High protein that's fatty will definitely have a negative effect. So if you're gonna go with like a protein and a carb or a fruit, make sure it's very lean, like chicken, turkey, cod, haddock, shrimp, scallops, bone broth would be even better. Okay?
With a fruit, you mean?
With the fruit. But I would still, what I would challenge you guys to do 3 days a week, it's called fruit fasting or sugar fasting is a big term they're using now. Fruit fasting to 4 o'clock, just 3 days a week. Then after 4, have a protein source, a starch source. But if you really want to lose weight, you do this as often as possible.
The fruit thing.
Yeah, the fruit to 4. So I have a
Press the capture button to switch to your glasses camera.
I have a big
First viewer has joined.
I have a big event coming up August 27th, and so down at the shore. So I'm doing extended fruit fasts. So I just lean out for that event. All right. So we could use this if we understand that this is a tool that we could use to lose weight and decrease inflammation. Okay. The key takeaway is this: you want to be mindful on combining foods. If you have a carbohydrate-rich meal, you don't want to have a lot of fat with it or any fat with it.
Give me an example of like what?
So, like for example, today for lunch, what did I have? I had. I'll go through my day today. I woke up. I didn't tell you about my dream. So every night before I go to bed, I dream about my orange juice with maple syrup and my sea salt. And then guess what? I put in my coffee in the morning. Blasphemy. Then I dream about my coffee because I have my coffee with a little bit of salt, and then I'll either put honey, maple syrup, or raw sugar in there, like sugar cane. Oh, so good. It's so good. It's so sweet. It's so good. I'll make you one, Mom. But I don't put any cream in it, right? Because I don't want any fat with it. And so coffee is pro-metabolic, which means it increases metabolism. Sugar is pro-metabolic. Honey is pro-metabolic. Maple syrup is pro-metabolic. So that gets me, then I do my workout. So this happens at about 5:15, 5:30 in the morning. Then I do my workout. First I meditate, then I do my workout. And then around, the kids come down around 6:30, they get them ready, and then I make my shake. And inside my shake, I'll have apple juice, delish. I'll have berries, banana. There's a sugar called trehalose, trehalose. Tastes really good. It improves insulin sensitivity. trehalose. Helps stabilize blood sugar.
Now what is that though, actually?
It's a disaccharide. It's a sugar. It's a sugar. It tastes sweet and it balances blood sugar. And then what else? And that's all I put in it. And then I'll blend it. And then maybe I'll put colostrum in it, but whatever. I don't have to go into that. But I just don't put any protein in the morning. I don't put any fat in the morning. And then a couple hours later, I'll have maybe 4 or 5 bananas. And then I'll have maybe 2 apples around that same time. And then midday, what did I do midday? Midday I was, I made myself another cup of decaf coffee. And then I put collagen in it. Collagen is protein. I put 20 grams of collagen in there and some maple syrup. Then that was my midday snack or lunch. and then with another banana. So I'll go through like 2 bushels of bananas a day. Yeah, you have to eat a lot of food, because think about it. Fat, if just let's just go through the law of thermodynamics, right? Fat is 9 calories per gram. 9 calories per gram. Carbohydrates only 4. So you need to have twice as many carbohydrates, more than 2 times as many carbohydrates to make up for the calories that fat has. So just by having fat, your caloric intake goes up exponentially. So just by being on a fruit fast, your calories, your caloric intake in one day decreases a lot. And then your metabolism rises up because you're optimizing the mitochondria and thyroid function. Okay? Then you find a fruit that you love. Yeah, any fruit fits on this. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like 5 bananas. It's a lot of bananas to eat.
It is. It's fructose. Yeah. Don't be concerned about the sugar, guys. It's the sugars combined with the fat. That's the issue. And all the research is showing that now. All right? It's sugars combined with fat. No bueno. No good. All right? So if you want to reduce stress, the most important thing for you guys to do is cut out the seed oils and nuts. Yep. Any kind of nuts, any kind of seed oils, canola oil, vegetable oils, cut those out. Vegetable oils. It's not. It may have protein, but it also has the monounsaturated fatty acids, which oxidize very quickly inside the body, which create free radical damage, which causes our bodies to age faster. It puts us into a stress metabolic system. It might have protein, but there's many better sources than that for protein. Yeah.
What kind of oil can you use?
If you can use oil, avocado oil, butter, tallow, those are all good. Yep. Yep, because they have even a coconut oil. So another oil that's pro-metabolic is extra virgin MCT oil. Or extra virgin coconut oil.
Oh, coconut.
Yep. That revs up metabolism. That's anti-stress. All right, so how many in this room, when you were hungry, your hands got cold? All right, I want you to be mindful. Next time, actually, even tomorrow morning, when you wake up, I want you taking your temperature. I'd prefer an oral thermometer. If your temperature is below 97.6 on a consistent basis, you're in stress metabolism. So how do you know? You check your body temperature. So I don't want you to listen to anything I say. What I want you guys to do is try it. And monitor your body temperature every day and watch what happens to you. So my temperature was at 94.5. Before I started doing the pro-metabolic diet that I'm on now, I was 96. I couldn't get really above 96.5. So I had a fever at 97, 97.2 if I was sick. Now, consistently, my body temperature is consistently above 97. And there's days where I've hit 98. And I haven't seen that since probably my early 20s. Yeah, I crushed my metabolism by doing vegetarianism, fasting, keto. And once I started doing more of what I'm teaching you guys, more about the thyroid metabolism and being pro-metabolic, that's when I started shifting my body and the health. And my patients have done it too. So don't be afraid of having the fruit. Just don't have it with fat. Okay? Body temperature. So thank you. Ideal range is 97.6 to 98.6. Yeah, if you're below that, your metabolism is underactive. So you want to be in that range. 90. I'm still not there yet. I'm working on it, and we're all working on ourselves. I don't care how old you are. We should always fight to want to be healthier. Turn back to it doesn't matter who gives it a hoot. All right, we always want to be fighting to get healthier, and it's possible. All right, all right. I want to leave some room for questions, but I also want to do a demonstration on pain. Somebody that's not my family, that's here, my Italian family. Anybody have shoulder pain?
They're lying.
Linda, you come up. You always have pain somewhere. Where's your pain today?
The usual, the knee.
The knee? Which knee?
The one that's not, this is the one.
That's the one? All right, squat for me. Does that bother you?
No.
No? Yay.
See that?
She's fixed. That's how we do work at Kinetic Rehab and Spine. That's a plug. That's
terrific.
here. Line your back. Line your back for me. It's a good thing you're not wearing a dress. Let's have you line your back. I want your head here for me. All right. It was this knee, right?
Yes.
All right.
This is the operated knee. That's the false knee. This is the bad knee.
All right, you guys. So the body's chunked up into 5 different zones. Zone 1 is the head, face, brain. Zone 2 is the neck, shoulder, elbow, wrist. Zone 3 is the diaphragm in through here, and also the mid-back. Zone 4 is the pelvis, and then zone 5 is the foot, okay? So when I assess our patients, we're assessing the 5 zones. And for her knee pain falls between zone 4 and zone 5. So when I assess the knee, I want to look at this zone and this zone, so we don't chase pain. We treat the root behind the pain, okay? So I'm going to look at zone 4. You relax 1 second. Now, don't fart on the table. I'm mic'd up.
Jeez.
Thank you, Henry and Andrew. All right, so what I should be able to do, I should be able to bring this thigh to this rib. So when I come up this way, and see how far that goes? That's it. No hip replacements on this side, right?
Nope.
Do you want one?
No.
Okay, good. All right, so what I'm seeing is that there's decreased mobility on this side. Now, I'm going to look at the foot and ankle.
Yeah, I still don't have full motion.
Yeah. It's,
Even after the knee replacement.
all right, so now you just do less.
That had a knee replacement?
This side did. And so when I hold the ankle down like this and I bring the knee out, what I should be able to do is bring the knee all the way out. And that knee is not falling all the way out because this bone is not moving very well. All right, so I'm going to come back. I'm going to assess. This is the good side, though, right? This is the not so good side.
Yeah, this is the one that's in trouble.
All right.
So I baby it.
So when I come up like this, still limited on this side, right? Is that bothering your knee at all?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Where do you feel it?
Yeah.
Where do you feel it?
Right here.
Right there. And then I want to come into the ankle. I'm just going to stabilize here, and I'm going to bring the knee out. And so this ankle is tight as well. So I'm going to do one trick on you, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to hold one muscle in the front part of the hip here. That's pretty sensitive, right?
Yes.
And then when I bend the knee now, how does it feel differently in your knee?
Terrific.
How much better is it?
100%.
Okay. It's because we're treating the zone. We're not treating the symptoms, okay? Now, I'm going to come into a muscle in through here, and then I'm going to hold tissue tension here, and then I'm going to come back up again. That might feel even better.
Yes.
Yeah. And so I'm just going to hold this here as I'm talking. Now, the key is this. We don't want to chase symptoms. Chasing symptoms is hogwash, right? We want to get to the root. And we have to look at the body as 3 stressors. So what are the 3 stressors? You guys remember it? We have emotional stressors, physical and chemical. And they're all related. So if I have physical pain, it's going to cause what to your emotions? Right? It's also going to affect your biochemistry. If I have altered biochemistry because I'm eating a stressful diet, it's going to create inflammation, which is going to cause physical pain. If I have emotional pain, it's going to create physical pain. It's just how the body's wired. It's just who we are as human beings. This is why we're so special. And we just got to tap into that. Once we know the code, it's easy. All right, so now, when I come here now, and I bend the knee now, how much better is it? Oh, now look at the range of motion. See how that improved the range of motion a little bit? And how's that feel in your knee now?
Better.
Okay, so now I want
I think I
to,
have to come back to you.
So is that,
and this side got better too.
did that
Yeah, no, seriously.
have a replacement?
This knee did not have a replacement, right, Linda?
No, this is my real knee. this is the replacement.
Let's have you stand up and walk around. And just be careful getting up. And we may notice you might feel a little bit lighter when you walk, but not dizzy. Just like light on the legs.
Thank you.
Now when you squat now, how's it feel different? I know you didn't have any pain before. I just want to see if... A little different?
That's it.
All right. So does that make sense, guys? Like we're the whole body. We can't just start with, like, people ask me, Evan, what do you like doing the most? Do you like treating as a physical therapist? Do you like treating as an acupuncturist? Do you like treating as a nutritionist, an herbalist, right? And the way my business is now, I had to step in and be a PT. So I cannot practice everything I'd like to do. That's why I love doing these talks, because I could educate people on how to heal themselves. And then I become your coach, your guide, right? And so I love doing it all. But PT can't do it by itself. Acupuncture can't do it by itself. Nutrition can't do it by itself. They have to be completely integrated. Does that make sense? Right? Yeah. So eat well, move well, think well, and supplement well. Right? That's pretty much it. Okay? All right, let's take some questions.
What are good supplements?
Okay. Let's talk about supplements that you might want to avoid. Okay? Centrum or Wonder Days, throw those in the garbage as soon as possible. Yeah. All right. Number one, vitamin C, get rid of it. Those are anti-metabolic. Why are you taking so many notes? If you want vitamin C, get whole food vitamin C from an herb called amla. A-M-L-A, amla, A-M-L-A. If you want a whole food multivitamin, good old liver. Liver. That's a vitamin. There's a pill, and we have pills at the office. So if you have difficulty finding them, you can just come to the office and buy them. Okay. And so the avoids, Centrum avoid, the Wonder Days avoid, the Kirkland multivitamins avoid. Now, this is where I'm kind of confused on this, and I haven't figured this out yet. Fish oils. Fish oils are polyunsaturated fatty acids, so they suck. We don't want to take those. There is a fish oil called cod liver oil, and God bless you. And this is where I'm on the fence with, because cod liver oil is high in what's known as retinol. And a fun fact, do you know how we, you know what they call the center of the eye, the retina? So if you want to improve your eyesight, you have foods that have a lot of retinol in it. Anything that has liver has a lot of retinol in it. Okay, so cod liver is a polyunsaturated fatty acid. It's a gray area for me. I haven't really figured out my stake on that. So I would say cod liver oil I have a question mark on, but beef liver I'm good with. Okay, fish oils I would say definitely avoid. Yeah, because salmon, think about this. They're cold water fish. Once they come out of cold water, what happens to them? They become very firm, right? Because you take something, or you take a liquid like, let's say olive oil, and you put it in the fridge, it's going to firm up, right? But if you take something that's supposed to be cold, like a fish, and you eat that in a hot body, it ferments inside of us. Yep. Yeah.
Is there a multivitamin that you should take, or
Just do liver. Yeah. Once you start having more fruits, you'll get all the macronutrients you need. That's another thing, is the reason why I love the fruits to 4, you're filling your bodies up with micronutrients that you just can't get. Right? And another food, I hate to say this, just Monday through Friday.
This is a great time of year for fresh fruit.
It is amazing.
The rest of the year, I'm sorry, it
Sucks. Don't be sorry. Yeah. Yep. So for the rest of the year, roots. So you want to, fruits and roots. The rest of the year, you can have sweet potatoes, potatoes, carrots, right? Root vegetables. And I still will eat frozen berries. I'll still eat berries. I'll still eat it. It's just not going to be seasonal. Yeah. And there's a whole entire other side of this where, like, we can eat for the seasons, and like, that's a whole entire topic. If we ever want to do one on that, eating for the seasons, we can make that happen too. Like in the winter months when it's colder, in Chinese medicine, you want to have more stews, more bone broths. You want to have more hearty foods. All right, so we want to think, and that's like old school. Like my family's from Russia. That's what we did. It was cold. You had warming herbs and warming foods, and you had big kvass, and like you just ate a lot of like warming foods. Okay.
So you say like eggs, they aren't that good for you.
Oh, okay. Eggs I like.
If you just have egg whites,
Egg whites I like.
can you have the egg with it too?
Yep, you got the yolk with it. So, hash browns, if you make them at home and they're clean, yeah, 100%. What was that? Hash browns. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You just don't want to have hash browns with your bacon, egg, and cheese. Yeah, and the thing is, listen, there's no right or wrong here. I'm all about 80-20 life. Eat like this Monday through Thursday. So I eat like this. I'm more into it, but I have my wines on Thursday night. Like I go out and eat. Like you enjoy your life. 80% of the time, that's why I like to say Monday through Thursday, Monday through Friday, be pretty strict and clean. And then just enjoy yourself on the weekends. Right? I think that's the best way to live, because then you could have the best in both worlds. Now, I knew you had a question, but I want to talk about alcohol for a second, because who doesn't like having wine or any kind of alcohol? So anytime you have alcohol, let's just understand the biochemistry of this. Alcohol depletes what's known as stored glycogen inside your liver. So when that happens, your body does not convert thyroid hormone T4 to T3 very well. So it actually turns down your metabolism, slows it down. But if you have alcohol with a fruit, it doesn't happen. It clears the alcohol 80% faster out of the liver. So I'll tell you, was that a question, yes? So what I love to do, and try this. So I went to Germany. Any Germans in this room? So, oh yes, it's gonna come to me in a second. It'll come, 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 I swear. In Germany, when I was out there, I had this wine that they put herbs and sugar in. Glühwein. Glühwein. It is absolutely delicious. Has fruit. Sangria. Like, so you want to have fruit with your alcohol. Okay. Now, say a very clean alcohol would be Tito's and orange juice. That would be very clean, right? So what I like to do, is I'll have my wine and I'll put maple syrup in my wine. Sounds crazy, but it's absolutely delicious. Absolutely. You can't knock it till you try it and be. What's that? I'm going to be drinking your maple syrup tomorrow morning. MBs. All right, so maple syrup, don't go with the fake maple. You want to go with real, authentic. How would you describe your maple syrup? Like true, straight from a tree. That's it. You don't want to get, is it Aunt Jemima? That is absolute poison for kids' brains and their development. You need the sugar. Yeah, get real food. It's real food. So when I say fruits, I also mean roots. So fruits, roots, maple syrup, and honey, have fun. Have fun. So I'm pushing probably 200 to 300 grams of carbohydrates per day now. I'm pushing 200 to 300 grams of carbohydrates per day, and I lost 6 pounds on this. Yeah.
And how much would that be?
It's a lot.
So when you're saying fruits, it's tomato.
I would not categorize that into the fruit categories that have the micronutrient levels. It does have the lycopene in it. It's a very powerful antioxidant. I would say that as a cautionary, and I still love my pizza, so I'll have that on the weekends. Okay? Mushrooms as much as you want.
Are you, but like, are you, like, now I know it's like a big thing.
Yep. Yep. Huge. Yeah, so I put the mushrooms in my coffee every morning. Yeah.
I've been doing it, and I don't know if it's psychological.
Yep.
That's why.
Now, try this if you can. When we put it in your coffee, no cream, no milk, and put, try with honey or maple syrup or like 3 teaspoons of sugar. And let me know what happens. It's not bad. If you're gonna do it, do fat-free, cold foam.
I just do usually I do a scoop of collagen and no sugar.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it depends on your goal. Like when I get down to my ideal weight, I'm gonna start having collagen in my coffee. When I get down to where I'm at the lean weight I want to be at, I'll start doing that, but not until I get down there. All right, Eddie, you had a question, right? How's avocado? It's a monounsaturated fatty acid, so it's anti-metabolic. No bueno on the weekends. Yeah. Tea, I love tea. Yep. Green tea is good. Yep. Just remember, anytime we have coffee or tea, it's a stimulant. So it raises adrenaline, right? It's a stressor. So anti-stressors are carbohydrates. Remember that. Like good carbohydrates, not like bread, right? Fruit is an anti-stressor. And cane sugar, cane is actually a fruit, raw cane. That's why it fits. It's both fructose and sucrose. So fructose and glucose. So it doesn't have, like raw cane sugar will not affect insulin like the table sugar you see at restaurants. That's why Starbucks has raw cane sugar too now. So you get raw cane sugar. Linda, you had a couple questions regarding peptides. Why don't we ask them now?
No, well, I kind of got the picture. You sent me a whole litany, and I understand it, but I will have
A private conversation. All right, so I let the cat out of the bag a little bit. I know we got to go. Who has a couple more minutes? Who wants to leave? Yes. Ooh, I do not know. Is there wheat in there? Not the yeah, if it has wheat in it, it probably won't be I wonder how they're fermenting it. Yeah. Beer would be a weekend thing. Yep. Yeah, a weekend thing. Yeah. Yep. So there's a new, who's ever heard of peptide therapy? It's a new, yeah, it's a new type of therapy that it's not new. It actually goes back to the 60s in Russia, but it's relatively making the mainstream in America. And peptides, who knows what a protein is, right? Proteins, right? We eat proteins, and proteins go in our mouth and they get broken down in our stomach by hydrochloric acid. And from there, the proteins become amino acids. And the amino acids in our small intestine go through our small intestine and enter the bloodstream. And the amino acids are building blocks for our DNA, for our cells, for our muscles, and for our bones. All right? It holds our bodies together. That's what amino acids do. And so a really smart scientist in the 1960s, during the Cold War, his name was Dr. Cavinson. He was basically threatened to create a solution to decrease radiation poisoning in the Russian astronauts and the submariners. And so what he did was he gave him basically almost $1 billion to be able to do research on how do we reverse radiation poisoning in our military personnel. And he came up with a solution. And what he did was he initially extracted glands from young pigs and was able to figure out their amino acid profile. And then started using it on these astronauts and started reversing the radiation poisoning. And there's peptides for each organ system inside the body. And so there's peptides that repair joints, there's peptides that decrease inflammation, there's peptides that boost immune system, there's peptides for weight loss. There's peptides for almost every system inside the body. And up until now, you had to have a doctor's prescription, and they were all injectable. And it sucked. I did it for 5 years. And so now in my clinic, we have nutraceuticals that are peptides that right now we have 5 peptides in the office. We have a peptide bundle that's called the Wolverine peptide because you heal like Wolverine. So the body repairs itself like Wolverine from Marvel comic books. And so Wolverine peptide stack, we have 2 of those. And then we have one for weight loss. We have another one for hair, skin, and nails. We have one for those frisky young ladies and men that want to improve sexual performance as well. Works for both genders. Talk to me in private about that one. And so we have these peptides in our clinic now. And so if you ever want to learn more, they're actually, great question, they're dissolvable strips on your tongue. They're actually not sublingual. No. You put it on your tongue. So the sublingual is only 50% bioavailable. These strips are doing bioavailability studies in the clinic for these. Phenomenal. They're not cheap, though. They're not cheap. Yeah, that's the thing, is they're not cheap. Each peptide's about $200 a month. And typically you go on 2 or 3 peptides. And so they're not cheap because they're pharmaceutical grade nutraceuticals. Yeah, they're very powerful. Yeah, the only contraindication is if you're pregnant. Anybody here in the room pregnant? Vicky? If pregnancy and active tumors. You don't want to be on peptides if you have either one of those. If you're in remission, it's relatively safe. It's a judgment that you would have to have a conversation with your doctor about. Yeah.
You said to avoid fish oil. What about tuna packed in water in a can?
Yeah, that is high in mercury. So that'll raise. It's going to be not only anti-metabolic, but it's also very high in mercury. So it's going to be have a huge burden on the liver and the toxic load on the liver.
What about the Italian tuna packed with olive oil?
Same thing. The tuna is tuna, for whatever reason, tuna stores heavy metals. Yeah. I like my sushi. So our favorite place, Nagoya. So we got sushi the other day. I got lean fish and white rice. So I got crab, which is typically haddock. So I got crab and I got shrimp. That was my sushi of choice that day. But it was also during the week, and I didn't want to break my fruits to 4 fast.
So when you do the fruit to 4, that's all you have for the day?
That's all I have. Yep.
Food or
Could you have cottage cheese?
Yeah. So cottage cheese after 4.
Oh, after.
Yep, after 4. And cottage cheese, you want low fat. Or no fat. No, I eat a lot of fruits. I eat a lot. That's why I'll go through like two bushels of bananas. The apples fill me up. I'll get a good 2 or 3 hours with the apples. That fills me up.
A lot of bananas. Do you swing from trees?
Oh, this has Vicky.
That's a lot of potassium. Isn't that too much?
So no, it's not. This is probably another topic for another time because there's when we're eating certain foods in certain ratios and we're having the beef liver, we're actually activating. There's a molecule called ceruloplasmin. It's a protein that's inside our liver that balances the minerals inside our body. And so the reason why I have my salt. So calcium, potassium, they have an inverted relationship inside the body. When potassium goes up, sodium goes down. So if you notice, I put salt on almost everything to balance it out. Same thing with calcium, magnesium. So blood plasma, our calcium should be a 5-to-1 ratio in blood plasma. So 5 times more calcium than magnesium in the blood. And so when we go on the pro-metabolic diet, the challenge is this: we're not getting enough calcium in our diet. So we may want to supplement with calcium supplements, which is another course we could do on it. That's why I like the low-fat milk or the no-fat milk, and then you supplement with some magnesium at night to help you sleep. Yeah. The mineral metabolism is really important. That's why I add salt to everything. Yeah, so it's a lot of potassium, but I'm balancing it with the salt. I use Celtic sea salt. Yeah, it has 87 trace minerals in it.
You can get it on Amazon. We get it.
Yeah.
Celtic.
Yeah, pink Himalayan salt is fine. Yeah. All right, it's very late. It's almost my bedtime. I can't imagine you guys. Thank you, everybody. And if you guys, there was a symptom survey sheet in front of you. If you could put them on this table before you leave. And if there's any other topic,